What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So a couple days ago, on Friday, as I'm filming this, it's Tuesday, so on Friday, Coda and I, we got the opportunity to go inside Toy Story Land. And it was a very last minute thing. Friday was the opening ceremony for Toy Story Land, where they had all the media there. They had Tim Allen there to activate Slinky Dog Dash and basically officially open the land, even though the land wasn't supposed to officially open until the following day on Saturday, June 30th. But later on that afternoon, in the rain, they decided to soft open the land to the general public for the first time, and Coda and I were there. And it was our first time going into the land. You know, it was everyone's first time going into land other than media. And there was a lot of excitement in the air around it. Now, I wanted to make this video, as I said in the original vlog, which, by the way, link will be in the description below. I'll also have an annotation or a card over here for you guys to go and check that video out. If you do watch that video, it's rather long. It's 44 minutes, but it covers a lot about Toy Story Land. In that video, I said that I was going to make a separate video about my thoughts and opinions on Toy Story Land. Now, granted, I have only visited the land once, and it was during a soft opening, so all of my views and opinions are based off of what I saw and did during that soft opening phase of Toy Story Land. Now, I also did not get a chance to ride Slinky Dog Dash and Alien Swirling Saucers. I only have my thoughts and opinions based off of the off-ride footage. But I wanted to go ahead and make this video because prior to the opening of Toy Story Land, I had given my thoughts based off of concept art and construction photos based off of what I've seen. And overall, my thoughts and opinions on Toy Story Land prior to last Friday were genuinely pretty negative because the land was already small. It only has 2 rides, and it already went through some major cutbacks due to budget cuts, as it was. So Slinky Dog Dash wasn't the full coaster that it was supposed to be based off of the original concept art that we got at D23. And it was, I was very disappointed, and because of the budget cuts and everything, I was, you know, just my expectations overall for the land were pretty low. And that sucks in a way because I like Disney a lot and I get very excited for new lands, and I was just not excited for this land at all. I found myself just not really caring about this land, and that was a terrible feeling to have. That was a very terrible feeling to have. But I do have to say that after going to the soft opening and after seeing everything and checking out the land for myself with my own eyes with the general public, I have to say, I really liked it. I really liked it. I think that this land is going to do really well in Hollywood studios. Now, there are a few negatives to the land, but I'm going to start off with some of my positives. Starting with the overall theming. The overall theming is absolutely fantastic. You literally feel like you're shrunk down to the size of a toy. And, you know, everything is larger than life over there. The Woody, Buzz, Jessie, and the Rex figures are all really large statues. Granted, I wish they were kind of animatronics. That would have been really cool if they were animatronics and their voice or their mouths moved and their eyes blinked and things like that. It would have been really cool, but I know that would have been super difficult to do. So I would have preferred that, but still, the detail on those statues are really good. All the fencing is like old Kinects. If you've ever played with Kinects, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can also go back to the video and reference what I'm talking about with the fencing around the land being all Kinects. They have benches over there that look like popsicle sticks. They have, in their little restaurant area for the quick service, they have chairs that are modeled after Baby Bell cheese packets. That's really cool. We went near the Slinky Dog Dash queue, and the entire queue is just, I don't know how to describe it. It's just a bunch of boxes from old toys and old play sets and old things that, you know, we grew up playing and using when we were kids. They have boxes of Crayola crayons, they have Elmer's glue, they have just a whole bunch of different things that we used to play with as kids, and that is awesome to see. That was so cool. The Woody's lunchbox, it's a giant lunchbox, and it's a quick service location. We haven't tried the food there yet, but whenever I get unblocked, we're gonna go back there and we're gonna try the food. But the lunchbox had so many little neat details in it that it was almost impossible to see all in one day. One thing that I noticed about the lunchbox is that even though you can't see the lid of the lunchbox, like the outside lid, you go inside, because the lunchbox is open like this, you can look up at the inside of the lunchbox lid and you can see like the metal imprint of what is on the outside of the lunchbox, which is a really, really neat detail that I personally would have never thought of if I was an Imagineer. So that is very, very cool. I loved it. I loved every bit of the detail and the theming in Toy Story Land. There's just so much to look at and to see in Toy Story Land. It was absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite details, which again, I said this in the video and I don't know if it was done on purpose, but the restrooms were covered in cooties. That was absolutely fantastic. That really won me over, was that little detail of the restrooms being covered in cooties. And I don't know if that was done on purpose or not, but that was still a great laugh for me, and it was really cool. A few of the negatives that I had about the land. There's not a whole lot of shade. In the Florida summer heat, it is miserably hot, so there's a huge lack of shade. The cast members did do a pretty decent job at setting up a bunch of temporary umbrellas along the queue route for Slinky Dog Dash, for when the queue stretches all through the land and outside of the land itself. They set up a bunch of temporary umbrellas, but that didn't really do a whole lot. There's no fans set up or anything, so I'm not sure how that's going to play out in the future. I'm not entirely sure how long the queue is and how many people it can hold, so hopefully it doesn't stay like that for a very long time, because there is a lot of temporary umbrellas in the land along that route, and it is a little bit of an eyesore, and the umbrellas are not exactly themed. The only themed umbrellas are in the quick service area by Andy's Lunchbox. So that's one of the negatives. Another negative is that there's not a whole lot of seating in the land itself. There's not a whole lot of benches. I think I saw maybe 1 or 2 benches that were popsicle sticks inside the land. So there's not a whole lot of places to sit, and the Andy's Lunchbox quick service area, you weren't allowed to sit in those benches unless you actually had food. So that was a little bit of a negative for me as well. Now, one thing that generally confused me overall about the land is that you're supposed to be a toy, and it's, you know, you're supposed to be in this like toy area, and Slinky Dog Dash did a really good job with portraying that, you know, Andy built Slinky Dog and the Slinky Dog Dash roller coaster with a playset, and he modified it himself with his own little tweaks to make the overall ride his own. The alien swirling saucers, that doesn't look like a playset to me. It looks like a standalone building. Like, it looks like it could be a building in real life if it wasn't a toy. It you know, all the little things inside there, it just felt like Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin over at the Magic Kingdom in Tomorrowland. The queue overall felt like that to me. It looks like that. Yeah, there's a giant Astro Blaster outside of the queue in the exterior queue part, but once you're actually inside the queue, it's just a bunch of cartoon papers, and you see a picture of Buzz's suit without Buzz in it, and I don't know, it just felt a little cartoony, and it didn't feel like a toy playset. So I'm not entirely sure what the whole storyline behind Alien Swirling Saucers is, how that's a playset, but I mean, I don't know. Overall, the building looks really nice. I like the building overall. I like the details in the building. I like how it looks like 2 UFOs placed side by side with each other in that building. So overall, I think it looks really, really cool. I just don't understand the whole story aspect around it. Another thing that I wanted to point out is that, yeah, we did go during a soft opening, and there was a lot, and I mean a lot of people there. You could hardly see the ground that you were walking on while we were inside. So that definitely puts a little bit of a negative mindset in me. as well, because no one likes seeing all the crowds. So you're going to go in there, you're going to see all the crowds, and you're going to be like, wow, this really sucks. So it's already going to put you into a bit of a negative mindset. So I don't want to let that affect how I see the land, because what I saw and what we did in that short amount of time was just enough to make me realize that this was actually going to be a great land. And one of the other positives that I forgot to mention is that you feel so secluded from the rest of the park. When you're in Toy Story Land, you don't feel like you're inside Hollywood Studios. You feel like you're in a completely separate place. And Disney did a really great job with the immersion factor inside Toy Story Land. You have almost no reference point of the world around you, and the only reference point that I've seen people complaining about online is that you can be standing inside Toy Story Land and you can look over by Slinky Dog Dash and you can see Tower of Terror off in the distance. Now, the way they handled this problem over at Epcot was when they were building Epcot, they were building Tower of Terror, they made the Tower of Terror the same shade or the same color as the Morocco buildings in the Morocco Pavilion, because when you're in Epcot you look at Morocco and you see Tower of Terror behind Morocco. So that was the whole storyline behind that. But now people are complaining about when you're inside Toy Story Land, you look and you can see Tower of Terror from the land. That's the only thing that you can see from inside the land. Unless you're on the Slinky Dog Dash roller coaster, you can get a really good look at Star Wars Land. But that's besides the point. They still have a lot of time to cover that up. But yeah, when you're actually inside the land itself, you can look and you can see Tower of Terror. So that's a little bit of a negative on that. I don't know if they really thought that part out, because Tower of Terror is so tall. People are just going around saying that Andy has a Tower of Terror playset that he added to a different part of his backyard. But it's not a huge thing for me. I mean, when I'm in there, I don't feel like I'm in Hollywood Studios. That's the thing. And that's something that Universal Studios did really well when they opened up their Hogsmeade and their Diagon Alley. When you're inside those lands, you don't feel like you're inside Hollywood Studios at all. You have zero reference of Universal Studios anywhere inside those lands, which I think Disney did really, really well. And I'm really, really hoping that that carries over into Star Wars Land and other lands in the future. I know when you're in Pandora over at Animal Kingdom, you don't feel like you're in Animal Kingdom. You're in that land. You are in that space. You're in Pandora. And it's so great to be able to disconnect from the rest of the park that you know and love and to just be immersed in that land. And that's what Toy Story Land did for me. That is absolutely amazing. I think that families that have kids that are going to go to this land are going to really enjoy themselves. The parents have a lot to look at, because there are a lot of nostalgic toys that we don't really have nowadays that parents are going to see and they're going to be like, wow, I played with that stuff. I played with those toys. That is stuff that I remember. A lot of kids aren't going to really get that nowadays. The kids are going to be more concerned with the rides and everything, but I think it will be a great conversation starter for parents and kids. You know, kids will be like, hey dad, what's that? And they'll be pointing at the cooties, and the dad and mom will be like, boy, let me tell you about these cooties, man. We played the hell out of them. And, you know, just things like that. That is something that I like to see, is a land that can engage its guests. A land that can engage its guests in a positive way is something that I really, really like to see. So yeah, overall, Toy Story Land is an absolute success in my book, and I think that this land is going to do really well. I don't know why I doubt the Imagineers, why I doubt Disney. Yes, I know the land was supposed to be more extravagant than what it came out to be. You know, in the original concept arts, Slinky Dog Dash was supposed to be a much longer roller coaster. It was supposed to have more elements. There were more elements in the land that we were supposed to get that we didn't get, and that kills me, because I really want to see this land in its full potential. And I think that they have some extra room to expand if necessary. I don't see that happening anytime in the near future, as they have so many other projects to worry about now. But I think that this land, for what it is right now, can hold itself on its own. And I'm so happy to see Hollywood Studios get out of its dark phase where it only had 3 attractions to work with. Was it 3? Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, Midway Mania, and Star Tours. 4. It was 4 attractions. I'm so excited to see Hollywood Studios get out of that 4 attraction rut, and adding 2 more attractions to the roster is something that is really going to help the park. but I am worried for the future. Holy moly, the crowds that we saw for the opening of Toy Story Land, and as this week progresses, was absolutely insane. 300+ minute wait just to ride Slinky Dog Dash, 2 to 3 hours just to get inside the land itself. That makes me worried for Star Wars Land. Holy moly, this park is going to get eaten alive. This park is not meant to handle massive crowds like that. And seeing what happened with Toy Story Land absolutely worries the hell out of me. So we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully Disney will see what the opening of Toy Story Land was like in the crowds that it brought. If a land that small and that catered to kids can do that, then they need to figure something out with Star Wars Land, because that is going to be insane. I'm getting off on a tangent here. I'm happy that Disneyland Star Wars Land is opening first, because that's going to be the real test dummy for us. Whatever goes wrong over there, we need to fix, and we need to do it over here. So I hope it gets done. Anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I know I enjoyed making it. I enjoyed going to Toy Story Land, and I genuinely enjoy this land, and I can't wait to go back in the future and to look at more things and to actually ride everything. It looks absolutely fantastic. I love it to pieces. And I know this guy enjoyed his time over there too, for what he did. Granted, this headband looks derpy as hell. I think Slinky Dog looks really derpy, but I don't know. Coda got it, and it's okay. These are going to be really popular. I've already seen, just based off of one day alone, I saw a lot of people wearing this headband. So if you're there, get them while you can, because I don't know if they're going to sell out of these headbands or not. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below, drop a comment, let me know what you think of the video. While you're at it, please subscribe while you're at it. If you're watching my videos, why haven't you subscribed yet? I know there are plenty of you out there who love to watch my videos, but you haven't hit that little subscribe button. Why not do it right now? Join the family. Enjoy the ride. It's gonna be an amazing time here on this channel. I still have plenty of Disneyland videos to post, and I am super excited to show you guys the rest of what we did at Disneyland, and I'm so excited to see what this channel has in the future and what we're gonna do in the future. I know Coda couldn't be here today to be a part of this video. She wishes that she could. She loves all of you guys just as much as I do. So yeah, definitely stick around for a heck of a lot more content on this channel. If you enjoyed, leave a like, drop a comment, please subscribe, and with that I am off, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.